Hey, welcome. You are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time, and I talk on this show about success. All success, everywhere in all areas of your life. But what I have always tell here is that in our society, the success is considered to be one-sided success. It all imply into the being successful in business, in professional lives, and at our work, so that we can accumulate wealth, and that's the success we many of us perceive. But there's so many different areas that we can be successful in, and if we ignore these areas, well, eventually only materialistic and monetary financial success is not going to make us fulfilled. So today I'm going to discuss the issue about fulfillment. So I would like to just go back into my own personal life when I was running export business, which was very, very successful, and the growth was very, very quick and enormous. So I found myself that I sacrificed so much in my life, like my sleepless nights, my time to spend with my children and family and friends. I was involved so much in, in business and managing business and making all of this happening. And then when I realized that, the success is there, the financial statements are great, then I start to really feel like I can maybe start to buy my fulfillment, right? So, and of course, when we become successful, we kind of feel that we would like to, have a much more better materialistic stuff, that we would like to buy more expensive houses or more expensive cars and designer clothes and things like that. So we kind of assume that when we have this basic needs meet first, and then we become successful in our businesses, we can then start to purchase all of this symbolism of the rich person, and assuming that this is going to bring us fulfillment on areas of our emotions, in the area of our, mental, psychological, spiritual fulfillment. But very soon we start to realize that this is really not the case. So we start to be confused. We kind of increase our hard working. We increase also partying, because we kind of want to have connection. And we want to have a deeper connection with people, and we are assuming that by putting ourselves out there, having money and buying stuff, we can actually be connected to people. Yes, at some stage maybe we have acquired some admiration and kind of love, but at the same time, the more we look at this pseudo solutions for fulfillment, the deeper we go into that place of loneliness, into the place of not having true full fulfillment. Thank you. I can see people coming up here. MJ, thank you for coming. And yes, money cannot buy fulfillment. That's absolutely for sure. I speak from experience. So I know how it is. And I was just talking the other day to my friends, and when I sorted out my wardrobe, I still found a few pieces of designer clothing that have labels on them. I didn't even had chance to wear them, because you kind of overload yourself with this pseudo pseudo fulfillment that maybe fragmentally can satisfy your your kind of excitement, but then very quickly you go into that place of being disconnected, of being confused, of being lonely, of being sort of almost not enough. And a lot of people, successful people, are they increasing the accumulation, all of these things. They looking for much more expensive stuff, and they looking for much more flash clothing and cars and things like that. I'm not saying that these things are not good to have. I'm saying that I love luxury stuff and I love new and beautiful things. But the place from where we buy it, and the place from where we look at how these things satisfying us, is really, that's what we need to look at. So another pseudo solution that successful people looking for is to have this on an emotional level, to have this admiration and love from other people, understanding and acceptance. And it's okay if we have that, and if we have people that are around us that are agreeing with our beliefs and concepts and ideas, but there's people also that are probably not agreeing with us, but they're not telling us. But once people are opposing our views and our beliefs, well, then we need to really check with ourselves, like, how do we take that? Do we have that reaction straight away, or do we have some sort of defensive mechanism to argue your own point? And this is the very subtle inner points about how do we see the fulfillment. So I would like to say hi to Tatiana. Thank you, Tatiana, for being here. And MJ saying it is important to know your why, your deep-seated purpose. Absolutely. I mean, in our society, when we go through the education and when we learn when we learn about how do we move in within our environment, most of the time we're not taught to be responding on the stimulus of outside or inside triggers. We kind of go with our own tough lessons of reacting and defending and trying to prove our own righteousness. So the pseudo solution is always focusing on obtaining that fulfillment from outside of us. It's like, in the form of the material stuff, in the form of the acceptance of other people and giving us love, and we kind of subtly demanding it through our own little manipulative ways. And so when we feel that we cannot obtain it, we kind of confused. We don't know why we successful, and yet still we cannot have that full satisfaction, full happiness, full joyfulness, connection with other people and with ourselves. So we kind of wonder why it is happening. What do we need to do to really start to look at these real fulfillment solutions? And the real need for adult person real needs is self-expression, growth, emotional and spiritual development, reaching full potential that we are given here in this period of our physical existence, right? So when we are successful and making financial success, we kind of focusing on this one-sidedness of being successful in our physical presence, in obtaining things and being showing the symbols of being successful, but we forgetting that the real true need of the human being is actually sitting within ourselves inside, in the form of that growth, that emotional development and reflection, and basically just your own personal self-expression in the form of the creativity, in the form of creativity in your business life, in your personal life, in your relationships. So this is the true needs that most of successful people are ignoring. I want to tell you about what that person, that very famous actor that took his life, the Robin Williams syndrome. Robin Williams syndrome, how successful that person was, how famous that person was, and how much admiration he had from outside. But really inside, he felt so depressed. He felt anxious. He felt unwell and mentally foggy. That was like, this all of these the places of the darkness that we can imagine, that was in his life, and he couldn't cope with that anymore. I know how people feel in that state, because I was there myself. I didn't understand why and how I can start to have the resolutions and solutions within myself to obtain the true fulfillment. So basically, what I would like to say to people that are finding themselves in that vicious cycle of going out and looking for all of these luxurious presence that they try to display to outside, hoping that will attract and give them back admiration, love, acceptance, understanding. So I would like to just give them a few little tips. Number one, that by denying the pain on unfulfilled needs, it's not gonna to actually remove these needs. It's gonna to make them stronger. So we need to start to really understand that when we deny that pain and hoping that it will go away, we really make that condition in ourselves much worse than we actually, when we started that journey, right? So when we choose to stay unaware of our unfulfillment, our condition will be much, much worse. And when you feel like if you're trapped in these pseudo solutions and you try to impress yourself and others through this, the symbols of success, well, then I recommend you look a bit more deeper, because that will bring you into the deepest depression there is. So what I would like to give you 3 little tips that you can start to examine and analyze your own life, and how that fulfillment in your life is, where it is that only in the physical and materialistic state, or is something that you're missing emotionally, or psychologically, spiritually? What is this? The full container that you are, with all these parts that you are, needs to be looked at. And ignorance of looking at the development, growth, at all of these ways of how you can express yourself through that authentic heart longings, then you really will be living a very shallow life. So the 3 tips I want to share with you is that I want to invite you to stop denying the pain of unfulfilled needs. So if you have these needs that are not fulfilled, you need to really go deep and ask yourself if you're gonna to choose to live like that longer. So this is the source of unwellness. This is the source of diseases. This is the source of unmotivation. This is the source of being trapped and being stuck in this one point, and your business is not going to be growing and developing with you because this is the place of that stagnation. So stop denying the pain on unfulfilled needs. Then cease waiting for your needs to be fulfilled by outside, either people or some kind of outside factors, like, some outside programs or some outside, material stuff, buy new home, buy new car, buy somebody that you demand to be different. So I'm not, I'm saying about programs, but the programs and experts and guides and coaches and healers can help you to make that first step, because I'm sure a lot of successful people are going through that vicious cycle, and they keep being in a Robin Williams syndrome. They keep quiet and they keep silent. They pretending that they are fulfilled because they have all this symbolism about them that's showing that they are successful, and they don't want to have that inner pain to be revealed to anyone. Well, this is really not a very wisdom step to do, right? So cease waiting for the good feelings to come from outside to you. And then number 3 is take full responsibility for your own attitude towards your fulfillment, the true fulfillment and pseudo fulfillment, because you have to start to have that discernment in terms of like, what do I do in terms of fulfill myself emotionally? Let's say in my relationship, what do I do? How much time I spend with my loved ones? How truthful am I to myself and to them? To discuss some issues that are probably not really nice to discuss. How often do you remove yourself from facing the issues within your family and within your friendship or things like that? So this is really a deep analysis and a really reflection back to yourself to start to have these first steps towards your total fulfillment. So I talk a lot about wellness and how I myself went through my life through all of these stages and phases where I learned hard lesson of being a successful entrepreneur and having a very successful business, and then collapsing into this resourcelessness and disease because I didn't really understand how that was working. I was fully believing that if you're successful in your business, then the happiness and fulfillment is just given automatically. So, but this is not the case. So I want to see someone. If you, in your experience, Larissa, what are they really searching? What are people really searching for? Well, people all, consciously or unconsciously, want to be happy, truly happy. They're searching for a truly deep, honest connection to other people, to themselves. They probably don't articulate it in that way, but they all looking and wanting to reach that state of being in peace with themselves, the state of being joyful, the state of being happy. And they don't know how to obtain it. So the distorted belief that the happiness only can derive from our success in our professional or business life is really very limited. It can give, of course, us, comfort of buying maybe much more comfortable houses and things, but really, in reality, it didn't give us that deep heart satisfaction, that soul satisfaction, or the soul fulfillment is really sitting on that development basis. If we just stop developing, if we stop moving towards our full potential in the form of becoming emotionally mature human beings and spiritually mature people, where we see ourselves not only as a physical presence with all the physical representation of our life, but we also, if we see ourselves also as a spiritual beings having experience in these bodies, and that we grow in our incarnational journeys through all these physical lives. And if we see that development and emotional and spiritual development is also going in parallel with development of our in intellect, and also our abilities to implement our ideas in our businesses, in our workplaces, if we can, in parallel with all this success, also start to develop our inner emotional state, our inner deep spiritual state, well, then imagine how much more power we would have and how and what we're going to create from that powerful place, because then the satisfaction and fulfillment will be yours. You don't need to then run after the fulfillment through the pseudo solutions, because the fulfillment gonna be with you, because you are looking at all that you are in all dimensions, not only your physical presence, your mental abilities, but also your emotional maturity, your spiritual heights, your psychological health. So from that that integrated and balanced human being, then only balanced fulfillment can be derived, and happiness can stay with you. So happiness is temporary, fulfillment lasts. Yes, fulfillment, when you go and when you make these choices, as I explained, from that inner place of looking at yourself and purifying and clearing all these distortions of that unevolved childhood consciousness that most of the time demanding fulfillment from outside, it then lasts forever. But happiness is a very interesting concept. As happiness is a state, inner state that can be, can be forever, can be temporarily. I mean, forever. It's probably. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm talking right now from my own experience, and I feel like I am holding my happiness and I'm having my happiness most of the time. But yes, it is still not permanent state. But again, it is a choice. It is a choice that we can make from these choices that we have. We can stay and hold on and cling to our old ways of demanding that the world or people or our friends or whoever is outside of us needs to be a certain way for us to feel happy or fulfilled. Or we can say, okay, well, this is my responsibility. I know that probably seems like pain when people are making some kind of decisions and actions in front of you that are not sitting with you. It seems like it is focused at you, but really in reality, it is your own creation. So this is a little bit deeper and harder concept to understand, but at the same time, it is our full responsibility for anything in our life, even for the things that we don't like in ourselves. So when we start to really shift that, when we stop thinking that if this negative or some kind of drama happening in our life is the fault of someone else not doing it to us or doing it to us. So it's like we're very quick to judge that everything that is not good happening to us is not me. This is not me. I'm not like that, right? But really, in reality, everything that happens, even the things that we don't like in our life, is from us. So once we understand that connection, well, then we need to start to unravel and unwind all of these erroneous beliefs and layers of the child that actually created it. And now seems like sitting in our adult lives and driving our life. So I would like to wind up today. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope that can make you think a little bit about your own personal, real, and pseudo solutions that possibly exist in your life, or maybe not. So I would like to invite you also to stay tuned in, because in my future program, the Ascara method, with its 2 programs and 6 modules that offer, each of them offer 5 or 6 lessons, we're going to touch on this fulfillment piece that we can go a little bit deeper and understand a little bit more how that plays in a role in our lives, and why there's a lot of people are feeling depressed, anxious, they feeling unfulfilled, they feeling unwell, and so this is could be resolved if we start to look at these places. And also in just as if someone is now feeling unwell or suffering from some sort of pain, there is a link up there that I'm showing right now. There is a free offer that you can download and print for yourself that can actually help you to shift your mind in 5 minutes exercise, and it can give you a little bit bigger perspective and also more possibilities, and assist you to take you out of the place of the stuckness and unresolution into the place of many different possibilities. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time to be here with me today, and I'll see you next week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time, and I love you all. Thank you. Bye. Let me just get that music.